What's up, everybody? I'm Leo Ray's Rayon,
And I'm Josh Glazer.
and today we have the fine opportunity to go over the Houston football team's the Houston football team schedule. Man, now listen, uh, this is going to be a rough year for us Texans fans. I have decided that I'm going to ride with the team regardless. Because that's what fans do. You know what I mean? And I've sat through some pretty shitty years that rewarded us with great talent. You know what I mean? That didn't win us any rings, and I mean, you know, we're just in a tough spot, but we all have to band together and support them, man. So starting off, bro, we have the new hotshot quarterback Sunshine from California, Georgia, Trevor Lawrence, man. Um, their offense, bro. Now, their offense, I think they have a bunch of like weird weapons to me. I think DJ Chark is great. I think Chenault is good. I think Travis Etienne is good. You know, um, I don't know too much about their O line. I think their defense has always kind of been. I know that it's not the same as it was 4 years ago, but like they have building blocks. From C.J. Henderson to Josh Allen. I I do not see us winning this game. I just don't see it. But we can win simply because it is a rookie quarterback, and you know you never know. But I don't see us when our defense is bad. I think that we have always had a problem. We've always had a problem guarding running backs out of the backfield, and they have two people that do that well when it comes to Chenault, who they play kind of like everywhere, and 18. You know what I mean? So I don't see us winning this game.
Yeah, and you can't forget Jamal Robinson, who was their
Oh,
best running
true,
back
true,
last
true.
year. He
Yeah,
can
yeah,
catch the
yeah.
ball. But yeah, no, I completely agree. The thing is, though, if you're going to win a game, this is kind of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a home game. Between this and the Panthers game in 2 weeks, I think they probably this is where they would, if they're going to win. I'm going to be more optimistic. They're going to win this. They'll sneak them because it's at home. It's Trevor Lawrence's first time playing the league. I don't think their offensive line is nearly good enough to support their offense at this moment. I think it's good, but I don't. Then again, I don't know if the Texans' defensive line is good enough to take advantage of any of that. So, but I'm just being stupidly optimistic for one game at least. So you guys don't shut it off yet and just get like, oh, these guys just hate the Texans, whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna give a win here. So we can move on to
Okay.
the Browns now.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Let me write this down real quick because last time. So the Browns, man. Me personally, I mean, I think the Browns. I think they made some really, really good acquisitions, bro. From Joke or JOK, you know, to from JOK to Clowney. You know what I mean? To I mean, shit. Who else did they pick up? Oh, they added a lot of speed at receiver just in case. I mean, Odell Beckham going down when he went down was really really critical for them because although that Jarvis Landry is good, they have good tight ends. They didn't have like a true field stretcher, and I think that adding Schwartz, even I mean he hasn't really produced that much. It's not like he's Tyreek Hill.
He went
He
to Auburn though, so you kind of the quarterbacks at Auburn suck. But yeah, I see what you. He
I mean,
he,
I
he
think
provides that element just in case.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even still, like it could give you even more of a variant of a way to use Odell. Like now, Odell doesn't have to be the deep threat. He could be more. He could use him more in intermediate roles. Like so, I feel like it could be. Their offense can be. They could be really creative with it. I mean, me personally, and they can run the ball. The offensive line is good. They have like a top five run blocking offensive line, I believe. So, unfortunately, Texans fans like I have to say L. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a butt whooping. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
It's like for every reason you said, they're going in a completely different direction
Right. Right.
than the
Right.
team at this point. This
So.
Panther game is interesting. Thursday night,
Hmm.
week 3, kind of early for a Thursday night game, but I mean, I guess that's what you do to a team that's two teams that are pretty shitty and aren't expected to do much.
Right.
What's your thoughts on the Panthers and how they match up with the Texans?
Man, I love their coaching staff. I think I love Joe Brady. I think he's great. I mean, we watched pretty much every LSU game, from that year that they won the championship, and I believe that, you know, their offense will always. I think as long as he's in the room, their offense will be creative, and they will be able to move the ball. They really sucked last year, and they lost a lot of really close games last year. You know what I mean? Teddy Bridgewater came out and gave his reasons for that, uh, saying that they never practiced red zone and they didn't practice 2 minute drill. And I think that was part of, why they struggled. This is a game that I want to say a win. I want to say we can win this game. Uh, I really, truly do. And I think that's what I'm going to do, even though, I mean, even no, I mean I have to be realistic with myself. So I'm gonna say we lose this game because our corners. I think they have a really good receiving core. Uh, our corners aren't the best. You know what I mean? We lost Roby. Um, uh, we lost Watt. Our defense is just brand new. I think their offense will be able to move the ball just simply off of that. I mean, I think Sam Darnold will be in a better position than he's ever had been in, and honestly, probably his whole damn life. So, I mean, I think that this is a game I can see us winning just because it's the NFL. And as bad as people act like the roster is on any given Sunday, we can't beat anyone. So but me being realistically, like in my predictions, I'm gonna say we lost.
When you have to start quoting any given Sunday and it's anyone can win any game, that shit's getting real dark.
Right, right.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's another one of those games where you win early. This is what happens with these kind of teams. They win a couple games early. It keeps them hopeful a little bit, and then they just go on one of these ridiculous losing streaks towards the end. And I
Right,
think
right,
they probably win this game, so they actually start off 2-1 and have people kind of losing their shit a little bit.
right, right, right. Okay,
But
so
it's gonna be one of those weird ones. And then they go to Bills. I mean, talk about. I mean, you can talk about it, but it's kind of it's gonna be kind of a shit show in Buffalo. Unless they're overlooking. I haven't looked at the Bills' schedule, but if they're somehow overlooking this game, it's the one chance that they could have to come in and kind of sneak the Bills. But even that, I don't think they have enough talent offensively to sneak anybody.
yeah.
So it's a solid L to me.
And I mean, I think like, I have it as a L2 Texans fans. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm a realist. I'm not one of these people that's gonna say, we're gonna win because it's my team. And it'd be better for the team if we lose, honestly, because we want to have the best picks. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, me personally, I think that Buffalo is super motivated this year. You know what I mean? I think that they feel like they can be, they probably think in their mind that they could be the number one seed in the AFC. You know what I mean? I think Diggs is going to have another good year. I think, Josh Allen is going to at least play the same. And I just don't see us winning this game. I think that they have no reason to overlook us because they know that they're competing with the Chiefs and they're in a tough division, so they have no if they lose this game, it can be detrimental to them at the end. So I think that we're gonna lose. You know what I mean? So moving on to the Patriots.
yeah. But so with the Patriots, you have sorry to cut you off, but you have the Nick Casario Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
So how does that's gonna be the battle of two guys that think they know what they're doing and kind of mentored the other, and then they hire some coach I'm sure Belichick loves the coaching hire of the Texans. It just seems like one of those hires that he would be like, oh yeah, I really like this guy. I think he's a great hire kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
out of like no one else thinks it like that, but that's just his opinion.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how does that play out for you?
I mean, I think honestly, as weird as this might sound, out of the first 5 games, I think this could be the game that we sneak now. that we sneak a team just because their offense. I mean, they don't have any like nothing that's scary about them. Like like there's. I mean, their tight ends are great, but I mean they'll probably be able to run the ball. Shit, I don't know, man.
There's not a lot of there's not a lot of juice, not a lot of big play potential. Because
exactly.
Nelson Aguilar is kind of your biggest big play guy, and Kendrick Bourne, or because you can't really depend on tight ends to be. I guess Jonnu Smith could technically be that if he's used in some really strange, interesting way, which wouldn't surprise me with McDaniel. But until we see it, I just think if you're looking at the roster, there's not that potential for the big plays that I think are going to really mess with the Texans this year and
But
really put them in a hole that they kind of quit games.
but to be like honest and transparent, the Patriots, bro, they do have. I mean, their defense probably will be better this year. You know what I mean? They added
Oh,
Barmore.
definitely. I mean, they get back Hightower. They get back all their dudes from that were missing.
Right,
I
right.
think what Forty didn't play, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did he play
Yeah.
last year? I don't know. But
I,
yeah, there's a lot
yeah,
of they get back. The defense will be. We know the defense is going to be good. That's not
yeah.
a question.
I'm gonna say we win this game just
Okay.
off of like. I mean, we have to.
No, 0-16.
Yeah, we have to win one. I mean, shit. It's week 5. Like what I mean. It's the NFL, bro. Like,
Yeah,
come on. You know, what you think? You think it's a L?
yeah, it's an L. It's the Patriots.
Fuck.
Bill Belichick is. I gave him 2 W's earlier. That Bill Belichick ain't gonna lose to that garbage ass team. I'm sorry.
I mean, dude.
It's just garbage. It's
I mean,
bad.
shit. I mean, you already
I don't
know.
know what I don't know. Like the Texans, what did they do offensively? Like, where's their? You're gonna build your offense around Brandon Cooks. Like, that's kind of where you're at, right? Like, what else is there offensively to build around?
Which,
Unless, and here's the biggest factor, and we can get into it at the end, but maybe Deshaun plays. Like, maybe it's they deal with all this, and by week 5, it's a 4-game suspension or something. Or wouldn't surprise me if they do some weird shit like only give him a 4-game suspension. Um,
I
maybe he
mean,
plays week 5 and shit shocks the world. Comes back against
maybe
the and then the Patriots trade for him right after the game.
right. Yeah, Nick trade him for like a 4th round pick on some like
Yeah, yeah. Give him the Jimmy Garoppolo deal or
some
something. Like
stupid shit.
give him a second for.
All right, man. So we're moving on to the Colts now. Josh, I don't know if you know this because I don't know this. I expected them to take a tackle early in the draft because of losing Costanzo. You know, um, I think that obviously their biggest strength has been their offensive line in the past. Since Andrew Luck had his big comeback year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So them not having a right tackle, or did they sign a right tackle or something? Like what? What? Do you know
yeah.
anything?
They added some guys around
Oh,
there.
they added Fisher, right? They added Fisher.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I
But
mean,
who knows what he comes back as after Achilles? But yeah, they did add play. They did add pieces.
okay. So I'm looking at the draft. They added two defensive linemen. They finally have an edge. I can't remember. I don't remember us talking about Quiddy Pay, but for some reason I think that you thought he was good. You really like Quiddy
Yeah,
Pay.
he's like a little fucking spring-loaded motherfucker. Like he's short, stocky, but he's like 100% muscle. Just flies off the ball. Um, I think he could get a similar impact of like a Grady Jarrett when moving him inside.
Hmm.
That's the issue, is that I think he may be a better pass rusher going inside than he would be on the edge. He's still good enough on the edge where you can start him but he's kind of a weird fit
Right,
based
right,
on
right.
who they have already. But I mean, shit, you draft good pass rushers and you figure it out later.
Yeah, right.
The,
So man,
the thing with them though is that they really didn't spend their money much in free agency. They played really close to the vest, and Chris Ballard's explanation was, "There's no we don't have our quarterback yet, so why would we go all in? Like, I'm not going to start the clock of like paying all these guys until we get that in place," which is kind of a I I appreciate the truth of it, but it's kind of a weird thing to hear from a GM of a team that's supposed to be a playoff team.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a way to think about it. Me, man, I respect the Colts a lot just over the years watching them, and I think that they're similar to the Saints in that I mean, their offensive line is pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And I think that honestly, dude, I say that I don't know how good the Titans are going to be this year because I like Arthur Smith so much and he's not there anymore. And I think Frank Reich is such a good coach. And I think that, Carson Wentz isn't dog shit like a lot of people do. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I think that, I think they're going to have a good year. If I had to pick a team that probably was a favorite to win the division this year, I think I'd have to go with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Personally. So, me personally, I am going to count this as an L.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and I think you now have Wentz back with the Wentz Whisperer, also
Yeah,
known as Frank Reich. So that should really change a lot as long as he's not too far gone. There's a
right.
possible that he's just too screwed up in the head that he gets on a field and he's got like PTSD and shit, which is it's possible. But I agree. I think it's an L, and even if they don't have a quarterback, if they bring I don't know. I don't even know who their backup is, but some scrub off the street. I still think they're a 500 team with like a replacement level quarterback.
I mean, honestly though, like talking back about Wentz, I think that this is a situation that like he's not gonna have to do too much. He's gonna like they're the type of team that they don't really have to throw the ball more than 25 times a game. So I
Yeah,
think I think that he can play well in that situation. I think that I'm trying to remember who they signed or you know their receivers and stuff. I mean T.Y. Hilton's getting older.
it's basically the same receiving core. They didn't add much.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean Michael Pittman, I don't know. Like I mean he's a big guy, but like I don't know that he can separate much. They probably do need to maybe add a receiver later, maybe next year. But man,
I like Pittman a lot. I just think it was last year his issues came because they didn't have a quarterback that they comfortable with. I think the biggest reason Wentz probably bounces back is the system that they run is really, really, really similar to what he ran in college. So there's going to be that familiarity of that play action, turn your back to the defense, then flip your head around and be able to a couple reads like that are very easily discernible, and the offensive line is going to give them time for the first time in like years.
5 years.
So yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well,
Both,
cool,
both
cool.
we both have an L. Obviously, we're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
at this point it's
Talking about who's
more
gonna
of
win
just
the
giving
division.
yeah giving an idea of who the opponents are.
Yeah. All right, Arizona. This is man.
The
This is gonna be.
semi first of all, you get a semi primetime game at 3:25 Central Time in
Well, I
Arizona.
mean, and I can understand why they did it because shit, it is a what do you call it? Like, I mean, this is like a revenge game for
Oh yeah,
people.
Nuke Hopkins is gonna go nuclear on your ass.
And then I mean, they have Watt too. This is
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh,
a
that's
very
right. He signed Watt. I forgot about that.
this is gonna be a very emotional game for a lot of people
Oh god.
watching and playing. I love Kyler Murray. I mean, I think Kyler Murray is great. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, if you're a Texans fan, you may not want to watch this game with your children and your family because it could get really ugly. Like
yeah,
there may be things done on television that need to be blurred out, and
yeah,
it's
man.
just it's gonna get ugly.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get blown out. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop like damn near 50 on us. you know,
Kingsbury's gonna try that shit. He's like wannabe Sean Payton. So
he finally has speed. Well, I mean, he's always kind of had speed, but I mean, I guess we got to see how good Rondell Moore is.
whew, I forgot about that. Oh my
Yeah,
god, if he's healthy at this point,
he's
bless.
gonna
But
be a beast. And
ugh,
then, man, looking at our schedule, bro, it's really not easy either. you know,
no, because you're playing the West.
yeah. And we
The
have
West
the
is pretty good.
Rams. So next
You're
game,
playing the West and the East, and both divisions are tough. Like
yeah. And we have so now, bro, we have to go to the Rams. I'm gonna automatically say
This is home against the Rams, at least.
this is a L, bro.
Oh
This is
yeah,
a L.
I mean,
You know, like now we're gonna finally see real like Sean McVay. You know what I'm saying? Sean McVay with speed. Like he's never had speed on his team before like this. With Tutu Atwell and Deshaun Jackson, who I think can still
oh, that's
run.
right. I forgot they added Deshaun too. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
god.
yeah. And then they still have those other receivers like Woods is still there, Cup is still there. Hopefully they're healthy. And now he finally has a real quarterback. You know what I mean? I think this might be an
There
MVP.
were zero excuses.
Yeah.
Zero
So,
excuses for McVay
so
anymore.
I think that they are gonna have a big season. I just don't I don't see, we're not gonna win this game.
No, this will get ugly real quick, and then they'll be able to. I think this is kind of where you're starting to see these next couple of games is where you could possibly hear rumors of Davis Mills beginning
starting.
to start.
Yeah,
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 yeah, because the bye week is coming up, week 10. So this is where you'll start hearing it after these blowouts against Carolina, against the Cardinals and Rams, and then the Dolphins are up next. So we both have L's for the Rams game for
yeah.
obvious reasons. They're a damn good team. I
And
think the
then,
defense might take a little step back because they don't have the same defensive coordinator.
yeah,
They still have talent, but they're good and at the top, but their depth is kind of weird. They draft kind of weird.
mhm.
It works out sometimes. They go for roles, so you don't really know what you're getting until the guys actually get on the field,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
I mean, it's stupidly that is kind of the way it is with any team. But yeah, they're gonna be it's gonna be a rough game to watch. So
yeah,
next game, week 9 at Dolphins.
yeah.
Yeah,
Week 9 at Dolphins.
yeah.
This is a L, y'all. I don't see like they have a great defense. Like I don't think people really are like. We all know Brian Flores is a great coach on top. Like he's already good schematically, but now he finally has an edge. You know, he finally has like. He has pieces everywhere now. Um, I don't see. So I think that they're going to be a top 10 defense. I think that they have very much potential to be. Depending on how Tua plays. They probably can be a top 10 offense too, possibly if depending on how they get shit rolling. Because they have so much explosiveness. You know, so moving forward from that, man, I just out of just looking at and then it's like I say, like I haven't really talked about this earlier. Our team right now is in like kind of like a I don't know the right word. We're in a critical state where like we had a messy breakup with the coach and GM Coach GM, whatever the fuck, we have this new guy who nobody really knows. Now, Texans fans are some of the most optimistic people that there are, but we hired the passing game, wide receiving game coach of the Ravens. I don't know. I really don't know what we're getting ourselves into. You know what I mean? So I don't see us winning games like this. You know what I'm saying? What?
The one thing that'll be interesting to look at with this matchup is the fact that two things are going to happen, and it's probably not anywhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Either Tua is going to be at this point really hitting his stride and
Right.
and getting to a point, or the line has started as basically played the way it did last year, and he might not even be playing at this point because of he gets injured so easily because he's not a big dude. So that's a possible saving grace where you could possibly get a W here.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all I've got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm assuming that both teams are healthy too. So remember that too. Some of these games can go either way, y'all. But all right. So moving forward, we have
Week 10, we got a bye week.
yeah.
Week 11 at Titans. What you got?
Um, I've said a lot of L's. I think we win. I think we're gonna win. I think this is a game we can win.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we win this game just because. I mean, damn, dude. Now I'm thinking about how fucking Derrick Henry plays against us, and we got worse on defense. L, sorry y'all. L. This is a L. I think. Oh yeah, and then this is a L. Their offensive line. I said in the previous video that it kind of got worse. Our defensive line got worse. Uh,
Yeah.
they have they're deep at running back. Their offense might be a little bit better in some ways this year because I love Corey Davis, but you know, I
He
mean,
never he never played up to his potential.
yeah. So
I think they know that.
I think they're gonna have like a more fast number two receiver this year, and I think AJ Brown is a big is a boss. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, he's a number one, and he's just waiting to be a number one. Yeah.
yeah. So this is I think he's gonna have a big year this year, and I think their offense might take a turn for. It might be a little bit more dynamic than it was previously. So I
Is
think,
it?
yeah,
No, go
man,
ahead.
this is just a tough. This is just tough. You know.
Is there any team in your division that you think you guys like definitely split against?
I mean, I have to say Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think that we generally split with the Colts, but I think Deshaun Watson normally wins us one of those games.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't have him no more. And I mean, you know, they're just. I feel like they're just when I watch them play us, even when we win, I generally feel like they are the better team overall. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It just means that Deshaun Watson, when I've seen him take over games before. You know.
Yeah, he just pulls it kind of out of his ass
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. But I mean, there's no more luck there's no more luck in Indianapolis, and I could see us possibly splitting. Like I said, I counted that as a win for a reason. I think we can beat any team, but I have to say in our division. But I have to say that, you know, honestly, I think maybe because of how bad we can be against the run in some ways, and I just remember it seems like Derrick Henry goes for 200 every damn time he plays against us. Maybe Jacksonville and the Colts are the team that we split with, but I don't see us beating the Colts just out of
Yeah.
respect. So, you know
Hmm.
what I'm
I got you. Cool. So
saying?
both have an L here.
Yeah.
Um, Now to the Jets. This is possibly one that they could
Yeah, yeah,
that they
yeah,
could do well with.
yeah.
It's at home against the Jets on the 28th at 12 o'clock.
Mhm.
Uh, we both like this roster. It's a battle of two teams. The problem is this is one where if Davis Mills is playing, I don't know how great the secondary the Jets is at this point. That's the one
Mhm.
thing. Like they have some safety. Marcus May is a damn good safety, but
Mhm.
corner spot is kind of iffy. Let's say this is one of those games where you could just be chucking it to Cooks and everyone else. I can't even think of who your number two receiver is at this point. It's just such a mess. Or
Yeah,
Kiki
yeah.
Kuti, maybe. I mean, the dude never stays healthy though. So I don't know. This is possibly another one where they could get that W. I'm gonna give it a loss just because I think the Jets are building something, and I think as long as Zach Wilson's healthy, which isn't guaranteed because of how much he kind of goes out of the pocket
Mhm.
on his throwing and everything, but it's probably a loss to me. What are your thoughts?
Um, like I always say, there's gonna be some games that you win. Uh, I think that this is a game that if we're not gonna go 1-16, I
You look
think
so depressed. I'm sorry.
I think that this is a game that we win. You know what I'm saying? But I also have no reason to think that we're gonna win. It's like, I mean, what position where are we better than them at? I have no
No,
reason
I'm
to.
I'm laying all my hope on the fact that I really like Davis Mills. He's a fucking second round quarterback that they drafted. That's what I'm.
And
That's
we
the
don't,
only thing.
bro. I mean, and we don't know the scheme that we're running.
Yeah,
Because this guy comes from Baltimore, and I don't know too much about. You know, I don't know too much about who he was before Lamar Jackson because, I just don't personally know too much about that. I know Stephen Smith apparently thinks that he's a jackass. I know that we have people around. I know that we have people around.
Wait, he really said that? He commented on him. He didn't think
He
he's a
doesn't
good
really.
coach.
Yeah, he said that he doesn't. He said something like he doesn't really understand how to evaluate talent and shit. That's what Steve Smith said about him. You know,
Oh dear.
but you know, I mean, I just don't see like you know. Generally, when I think about how teams can win, I think about the matchups. I don't see us having any favorable matchups against any team. Uh, I just don't. I just don't really see us matching up well with anybody. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think the only hope you have to sneak a game really is to find a team that has corners that can't handle fast guys and cooks to go off
Yeah,
in a game. Like
exactly.
that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I like Davis Mills, but I mean, just the reality of the situation, you know what I mean?
He's a rookie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. It's a L with a possible W, like very low possibility, but still a possible W.
So we have the Colts at home this time in week 13.
Yeah.
Um, I I uh I said that this is a game that we possibly can win, you know. But like I was saying, I think that also the Colts will be in the running for the division, and they are the better football team. They have I mean, they have Quentin Nelson, who I feel like is a heartbeat for their team. You know what I mean? And how often do you say that about a guard? I think he's a guy that sets the tone for them. You know what I mean? And I think that the whole offensive line is like that for them. And I think that during this part of the year, teams like that can start really, really you know, being just straight assholes and douchebags on the field, and they want to kill everything in front of them. And they have a big 230-pound. They have a running back that's built like damn Saquon Barkley, but doesn't juke at all. He runs straight forward. This is a team that at this point in the year will be playing probably like I said, probably the best football in the division. Depending on offensive line play, that's what's going. Depending on the right tackle spot, but I have to count this as a loss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one thing that if you take a step back and kind of look at this whole year that you'll learn with a lot of these, especially these Colts games, is you're going to learn which guys are tough, which guys are physical, which ones actually want to compete. And
Yeah,
that's one thing you will get to identify that. And hopefully, I mean, what Steve Smith has said about the coach isn't a good, really good thing to know. I mean, isn't a positive piece of information, but luckily Casario is the one that's going to be making all the decisions in terms of personnel. And I think partially the reason he was hired was because Casario trusted him and he thought that he was going to implement his vision for the team.
yeah, and I think even Casario. One thing I will say about Casario is that even just hearing him talk, how he talks to the media, and just hearing how he was talking to his draft picks, there was a certain kind of sternness and a seriousness that, I think that, maybe in a couple years, as a positive note, and maybe Josh, we could do a video on this eventually. But one of the positive things that I will say is that, like, in 2 or 3, 4 years, we can be a team that, what I'm saying, you don't want to go play Houston in Houston, what I'm saying? You don't want to play Houston late in the year, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because just by off of the way he was talking, and he believes that he has a vision for the team, like you were just saying. And I think that he envisions us being a tough team. You know what I'm saying? So
And you see it also with the people he's brought in. Even though the people he brought in haven't been sexy, you
hmm
can't really look at any of these guys he's brought in, whether it's Ingram or
hmm
Jordan Jenkins or whatever. He's brought in tough, smart football players that may not be. They're probably older, which is why he was able to get them. But it's he's trying to build up a mentality, and I respect that rather than going right in right away and going after all this sparkly, shiny shit and trying
yeah.
and just missing out on that and setting yourself back. He
yeah,
seems
yeah,
to
yeah.
trying to build a mentality. He
Mhm.
knows he's not going to be able to get the talent in right away, so he wants to at least build up the culture side of it.
Exactly, and I think that's the bright spot. Like Texans fans, you know what I'm saying? We have to
Yeah.
understand that this year is not about winning. This year is not about winning. It's about seeing who wants to play football, like who wants to go out there and get hit and hit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not don't think I'm not trying to be negative. A lot of these losses will be losses that we learn from. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah.
gonna learn what kind of quarterback Davis Mills is. We're gonna learn
Oh,
about
definitely. That's the thing that
yeah,
scares me though, is that you come in, you bring a guy like Tyrod Taylor in, and he's done a good job of staying healthy as long as it's not getting a pain shot from a doctor on his team. But that's a whole different thing. But the issue is that how quickly are they going to put in a young guy? And I think the sooner they do that, the better it is long term. But it's gonna be interesting to see. It's obviously going to be Casario's call. I think they're hiding it a little bit by not saying that. But I just if you
mm-hmm,
look at the dynamic and what kind of pull that he has versus a first time head coach that no one expected to get the job, there's
mm-hmm,
no pressure for the head coach to really have any kind of uh, control over the roster. Really, I mean, he'll obviously make certain decisions game day and everything, but there seems to be a solid line of communication.
yeah, 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 yeah. All right, man. So that was the Colts. Then we have a tough game and with the Seahawks. Uh, I don't know what you have to say about this too much. I think this is one that we can kind of gloss over real quick. I have this as
Yeah,
a
it's bad. It's gonna
yeah,
be bad. It's gonna
yeah,
be bad. Yeah, we
yeah.
can keep going. The
All right,
Seahawks are gonna just throw all over them, and they can't take advantage of the Seahawks' one weakness of offensive line
right.
because they don't have the pass rushers to really do it. So yeah,
All
there's
right.
a loss.
So then we have Jacksonville again. I counted it as a loss earlier. I'm gonna say we're gonna win this game because I don't think. I mean, I think that they do. I think that they are probably right now a more talented team. I do think that they are a more talented team than us, but I don't think that they're necessarily that much more talented than us that if we get two chances at them, we can't beat them one time. So I'm gonna go ahead and count that as a win. You know.
And yeah, and these games down the stretch are all going to be super dependent on whether the players have quit yet, whether the how good of a coach. We're going to learn really quickly whether the head coach has a pulse on this team and is able to motivate them despite uh, not being very good. So we'll learn that from this game too.
Right,
I
right,
have it a
right.
loss because I had the win earlier, so I've got him at 2 wins. Do you have it at one
I'm at
or two?
two
Oh,
now.
you said the Panthers, right? You said the Panthers.
No, I said they would beat the Patriots. I know
Oh,
they're
that's right.
probably going to win one of the Week 5 games. I can't say which one it is, so I said the Patriots.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. So we're
Um,
both at 2 wins.
all right,
All right.
so week
Chargers.
16, yeah, Chargers. Chargers. I mean, I like the pick. I like the pick that they got Rashawn Slater. Finally, like, when's the last time you can say that? I mean, hopefully he turns into everything people think he is. But when's the last time you can say the Chargers have a decent left tackle? You know. Uh,
And that's the thing. I think he'll probably start at left tackle. He'll be good,
mhm.
but I think he would be like all pro at guard.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
wish they would switch him there because he's such a fucking bully. But hey, I mean they got to use. They need the offensive lineman so bad that they may be more valuable for them to have above average left tackle next year than it is to have a Pro Bowl level guard.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, wherever they're gonna play him at, shit. I mean, it's an improvement anywhere because
Oh
they
yeah,
had. I think PFF had them as the worst offensive line in the league, at least for pass blocking, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
it was bad.
the thing with them, I always think their receiving core is pretty strange. They have a bunch of guys that, like, I mean, I think it's just they have a very interesting receiving core. They don't really have as much speed as I personally would like sometimes, but they're great receivers. They have Mike Williams, who's he does crazy shit, and then
Yeah,
Keenan Allen, who can't. I mean, he's top five receiver in the league as far as route running, and depending on how you feel about receiver play, he could be just a top five overall receiver. You know what I mean? Depending on your preference of style, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think in Justin Herbert, I'm not really sold on giving anyone like I see people just giving him too much credit for 1 year. He played really, really well. But I mean, and I think he's, obviously I think he's in the top half of the league as far as quarterbacks, probably top fourth of the league. I don't know. Top 10
yeah.
maybe.
He has endless potential, but you got to wait for the league to get tape on him.
Right,
Now the
right,
league
right,
has a
right.
full year of tape, so now we'll see.
We'll see what he
Uh,
is now. You know what I mean? So I think that they're in a tough division too. I don't see them. I see them basically going about 500. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe at this point in the year from them, this game might mean more for them because maybe they're almost in. You know what I'm saying?
you
Maybe.
have them only going 500. That's interesting. We'll talk about it another time. That's a good. I completely disagree, but we'll
You
talk
think?
about. We'll save that first. Well, to be determined. Or yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, yeah, yeah.
okay.
I mean, I'm saying that because, dude. I mean, I don't know about you. I think their division is. I know, like they have Mahomes, bro. You know what I mean? I know that like people act like the only tough team in their division is the Chiefs, but I mean, I can see them being the second best team in that division, but I think they're gonna play a lot of tough games. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But
No,
yeah,
I see where you're coming from. I get it. All
yeah.
right.
So
That's
yeah,
obviously a loss. Moving to week 17.
yeah. L. Okay.
We have we have in San Francisco at 3:05 kick.
Yeah.
Second, a second brand new year. God, that's gonna be weird.
Do you think
Two
Lance is
two.
gonna be playing by this time?
Yes, but not as the full time quarterback. I think they're gonna be using him in the Taysom role
You think so?
this whole year. Yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna use him in that way because I don't think they're gonna get the value unless they get a crazy offer for Jimmy G, which I don't think they're gonna get. Right?
Do you think he'll be healthy?
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he will because I think everyone's back healthy now. Where
Yeah.
the line isn't a complete shit show anymore.
I can't lie, bro. I think well, I mean, I guess this isn't a news flash, but I think that the 49ers are in the Super Bowl running this year. You know what I mean? Depending on if they stay healthy. But I mean, I'm gonna just so I think highly of Shanahan in some ways. I think that sometimes he can. Sometimes I think that he can kind of get away from the shit that gets him where he is. As far as sometimes I think he got like I
He
think
gets
if
too
that
cute.
stock.
He gets too cute about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how they lost the Super Bowl. I thought they were gonna beat the. I picked them to beat the Chiefs, and I like the Chiefs, but I think that they are a more physical football team. I like the draft they had. I think their whole draft to me was about becoming a more physical team. They got that big ass lineman from Notre Dame. They got a big physical quarterback. You know what I mean? They got Trey
it's,
Sermon.
it's
You know,
someone the Saints loved a lot too. Yeah, I really like the Trey Sermon pick, but Lance was someone the Saints were targeting as well if he had fallen at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So man, I think personally, bro, I think this is a loss for me. Just because I think by this time the 49ers are gonna be like I said about the Colts, they're gonna be looking to punch people and fuck people up, and it's just that
Yeah,
time of the year. You know.
yep, I got it. I completely agree. All right, week 18, Titans, last game of the year.
Uh,
Are they going out? Are they going to have a little something positive for everyone?
I think that it depends. Like I said, I think Henry, man, Henry just. It seems like every time you watch Henry's highlights, dude, the Texans are just all over him, man.
Yeah,
I mean, his longest 90-yard runs are always against us. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think as much as I want to say that I think that we can win, I just don't like. And another thing too, bro, is that I don't even know what our team's identity is going to be. I know our defense won't have a real identity, but I don't see one good thing that our offense does well. I mean, I know we have a good left tackle. You know,
Mhm.
but I don't see one thing that makes us unique at all.
Well, one thing I guess you hope for when you bring a guy in from Baltimore like this, hopefully you bring in a guy that hires other coaches that allows your team to be tough, fundamentally sound. You don't need talent to be fundamentally sound, and you don't need talent to be a good tackling team. So hopefully that should to give some kind of positive spin to it. That should make your matchups with the Titans a little bit better because you've seen how the Ravens have done so well against the Titans. Like they've really squeezed the life out of them a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing about the Ravens though is that like I'm shooting down what the hell you just said, but their front sevens are they're good. You know what I mean? They have I mean from Judon to Derek Wolf to the new acquisition of Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, Pierce when he was there. You know I forget who's always the they
Yeah,
have
I know. Yeah, Brandon Williams. Yeah, they're
yeah
fucking stacked. No, I get that.
yeah yeah.
But
I
my
don't
my
think
point is that you don't necessarily need the crazy athletes, the crazy speed, the crazy playmakers to be a good run defense. You just need guys that
you
really
know
play their lanes well,
yeah.
give you a better chance. And I don't think that's one of the biggest weaknesses of the Texans the last few years was that they just didn't play disciplined football on defense. That's what I'm more talking about. I know there's a huge
Yeah.
disparity defensively.
I would say, man, you know something, bro? Like, I don't think that people really, really respect our division in that, like, our division is like very, very. I think we probably have some of the. I know this is gonna kind of sound kind of strange, but I think that we have two of the best running teams in the NFL in our division. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
So it's like,
That's not weird at all. I mean,
I mean,
I
but
think
like, I feel
both our
like
sides.
when you think about the AFC South, nobody ever really thinks highly of them for anything, in my opinion.
Well, because you don't have the quarterbacks. You had one quarterback, it was Deshaun, and everything else there wasn't the quarterbacks in it.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
there is, so now there's the potential, right?
yeah. I mean, but I mean, like even as far as like, I don't think like I feel like Tennessee, bro. I mean, I feel like Tennessee the past couple of years could have been a Super Bowl team in both years. You know what I'm saying? I
They
think
almost got there, right?
yeah, one
They
year.
beat the Patriots and yeah, got to the AFC Championship, right?
And that was a close game against the Chiefs for part of it. You know what I mean? Before they
Yeah,
kind of went off on them, but it was they're a tough team, and I mean that's one thing I say about our division. And I think, man, even just talking through the schedule, bro, makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about the Nick Casario hire in the first place. Because, like I said, like the way I mean, and I mean obviously phone calls on draft day don't fucking matter, press conferences don't matter, but attitude does matter. And I think that
yeah. There's a
he
mentality there.
bro, like the way he was talking to them on the phone, it was like a fucking general talking to a soldier. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, when I think about what we haven't had, bro, even when we had Foster and we were a running team and we had Ben Tate and Foster, I still feel like we didn't have that mentality to where like it was like killer mentality, you know what I mean? And I think that he's the kind of guy that even if, the coach doesn't work out, which I feel like, this might be a placeholder hire, you know, uh I don't know, but I mean, and I don't want to talk down on nobody, but I mean like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah, no
that
one knows because he has so little experience.
exactly. So I mean,
Yeah,
we could end up turning it around. I think like I say, it's 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 not hard. To, I mean, how the fuck do I say this? It's not impossible to turn around and be like a top 10 team in 3 or 4 years with the right pieces. Especially even if like, and I think honestly something that is interesting also is that if we keep Deshaun Watson and he comes back mentally maybe even stronger than before, you know what I'm saying, maybe he's better than before, and You know what I'm saying? And then we just continue to build the team around him. We finally have a GM that is going to build the team the right way around him, you know. Or maybe we still trade him. We get a shitload of picks for him, and then we build around somebody else. But I think either way, um, our team will be. I think with the hire of this GM, I think that I'm excited to be a Texans fan now, which is something I haven't really felt in a long time. You know, because even when I felt like our teams were kind of built off fool's gold, you know, a lot of the time, you know.
Yeah, JJ Watt would hide a lot of stuff on defense, and then you just figure it out on offense, and just
Mhm.
enough to be competitive. And you get hot, and then everyone get excited, and then it wouldn't be real. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
And the thing that you look back at the signings he's made, that you're almost guaranteed with this team that you haven't been previously, is there's a layer throughout the roster now of competence, not necessarily talent, but there's a guys that know how to be professionals. And so you're not going to be signing guys off the street to be starting, or you're not going to be needing to gamble on first round picks from other teams that obviously fucked up wherever they were, because you don't give up on a first round pick corner unless like Vernon Hargraves, unless I mean shit, it worked out a little bit. He's played decently, but you don't want to have to be doing that over and over again
right.
to build your team. You want to have a baseline where you're not having to just constantly having guys signing in and out, and make it more of a you build a culture of the same people throughout a year rather than having constant flex.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So
I agree.
I kind of got lost on writing the win loss record for us.
We
I
both
had
it doesn't really matter. We're both at like 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah. So I think that Texans fans stay positive. I think that this is the beginning of something, and whether Deshaun is a part of it or not, I think we'll see what happens, man.
And the things to really look for and to really hope for is obviously any young players playing well. You want your safety, Justin Reed, who's a damn good player, to play well.
Uh,
You hope for Davis Mills to get a legit chance to start for a good amount of games this year, so you get an idea of that. Besides that, really just enjoy the game of football and just almost enjoy, because I've gone through years like this with the Saints, where back when they were 3-13 during the Katrina year, where I just watched and just was thankful for having a football team, and thankful for uh, the fact that there were some young players on there that we liked, and that there was a projection going forward. And
right.
so
I think
it can only get better from here.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So y'all understand that. Yeah. I mean, Josh said it best, and it is what it is, man. I think we're gonna win 2 to 3 games. I think that hopefully we'll really see the real season begins when we draft in April of next year. You know what I'm saying? That's when we will actually see the beginnings of the team. We'll see what was added this year. We'll see if Davis Mills is good. Um, you know, we'll see if Deshaun comes back. I think everything is pointing to me that they might be looking to move him now, because I want to say we might have even signed another quarterback. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But yeah, man, you have anything else to say about this, man?
No, not really. I think it'll be you guys will be fine. It's
Yeah.
another thing to look out for that you get to, if you get real football nerdy with it, is really look at like systematically and schematically what they're doing on this team now, because you really have no idea coming in. Because Dean Pease, he was with in Baltimore. Wait, that's a different team. I'm screwing that up. Who's your defensive coordinator?
Shit, let me look.
Is it not? It's not Lovie Smith, is it?
I think it is Lovie Smith.
Okay, that's a good hire. I mean, that's another guy, that professional that knows how to run an organization. So
Yeah.
it'll be if he's been hired as kind of waiting in the wings. That's another dynamic. But I don't think Casario would do that right away, where he would undermine his head coach. But who knows? I mean,
Do you think we're gonna run a 4-3?
I don't know. Can Whitney Merciless play a 4-3 defensive end? He's your best pass rusher, and that's how you build your defenses.
Dude,
Play him in sub, it doesn't matter. You play him with three big dudes. I don't know.
fucking
Who
yeah.
knows? They're gonna do whatever it takes with that's the thing about Baltimore's teams is they played multiple and they just played however it best fit their personnel.
But dude, I don't think. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I don't think I've
It's
ever seen Lovey Smith ever do anything that's not 4-3.
yeah, I don't know enough about his time in college
Yeah,
recently where he
true,
was at
true.
Illinois to know what he was running then. I'm sure he wasn't running just cover two because that shit doesn't work anymore
Yeah, yeah,
unless you have the crazy athletes
yeah.
at linebacker and such. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. So that's
So,
kind of where we're at.
all
That's
right,
it.
y'all. All right, y'all. So this was the Raisin Glaze podcast, man. I'm Leo Ray's Rayon,
And I'm Josh Glazer.
and we're out of here, y'all. Peace.
Take care.